In this lesson, we'll further customize our music list view controller, provide some behavior as the user taps the individual rows. We can see that we can currently tap the rows, but nothing's happening in response, so let's fix that behavior. In addition to using the UI table view data source methods to provide data to our table view, UIKit also provides a protocol called UI table view delegate that's used to customize its behavior. The Cocoa frameworks make heavy use of this pattern known as delegation, so let's quickly discuss that. Subclassing objects to customize their behavior is less common in Cocoa than in other frameworks. Instead, it uses this delegate pattern approach. An object can be designated as another object's delegate, and as interesting lifecycle events happen on the primary object, it invokes various callback methods on its delegate to customize the handling of an event at that point in time. The delegate, usually at its discretion, can choose to implement a particular method and then participate in that process. So let's take a look at the UI table view delegate protocol. So we can see methods in here to customize the display, set header and footer information and height, handle selection, handle editing. So quite a few different methods that are available on this protocol. But all of these are optional, so you can simply opt in when you want to customize certain behavior. Since our music list view controller is extending from UI table view controller, we don't need to explicitly adopt this protocol or mark ourselves as the delegate. UI table view controller is already doing that for us, but we do need to implement the appropriate delegate methods. In this case, we want to take an action when the user taps the cell. We can respond to that event by implementing the table view didSelectRow at index path method. So a stubbed out version already exists, but let's implement it. In the final version of our app, when the user taps a row, we're going to want to reveal the detail controller for this album. But we're not ready to do that quite yet, so let's simply show an alert message when the user taps on a particular row. So I first want to get a reference to the album that was selected, and we can do this in a manner similar to what we did in the self-row at index path method. I'll then create a message based on that album using string with format and specify the artist and album name. And I've just got this \n to put a line break in this string. I'll then create a UI alert view, and we saw this in one of the earliest lessons we did in this course, but this is a common way for displaying pop-up alert messages to a user. So I'm creating a new instance of this, giving it the title selection, pass in the message that we just created. We don't need a delegate for this UI alert view, so we'll just pass nil. For the cancel button title, we'll specify OK. And the cancel button is the button that's used to dismiss the dialog. And we won't have any other buttons, so we'll just pass nil for that value. Now that we've created an instance, we can just call its show method, and that will pop up that message. So let me hit Command B, compile it, and run. Take a look at our list and click on one of these albums. So I can see our selection was made, and the artist is Foo Fighters, and the album's Wasting Light. Got the Beatles, Cream. We'll create a more complete implementation for this as we go, but we now at least have the basics working, so that as a user taps on a given row, we can identify what row that was that they tapped on and get the relevant pieces of information about that action. You should now understand the delegation pattern and how to act as an object's delegate. Delegation is widely used in Cocoa, so it's good to become familiar with this pattern as it's used in many cases. UI table view delegate provides a large number of methods to customize a table view's behavior. We've only implemented one of those methods, but it's probably the most common extension point. Experiment with some of the other methods and get a sense for the other kinds of customizations you can perform.